You gotta come on, look at me. I want you to kiss me. Come on, let me feel your heartbeat, so sweet. 初めてのチュー、思い出のチュー、赤と青の磁石みたい。言葉よりもはっきりしてるわ。どんな嘘つきも正直にする。一瞬の出来事だから逃さないでなの。そうだから What you say 時が止まる。肩の力抜いて君しか見えない子だから What you feel Tell me what you want. Look at me, I want you to kiss me. Go on, let me feel your heartbeat, so sweet. Look at me, I want to kiss your lips. Go on, let me feel your heartbeat like a drum. 花火のように電流が走る。世界中を愛で満たそう。街行くみんなも甘いポップコーンのように弾けてたいの。自然なこと肩の力抜いてあなたの世界でこうだから What you see Tell me what you think. Look at me, I want you to kiss me. Go on, let me feel your heartbeat, so sweet. Look at me, I wanna kiss your lips. Go on, let me feel your heartbeat like a drum. そよ風を感じたら幸せに触れられそうよ。くるくる回る毎日にはいろんなことがあるわ。これからずっとその先まできっと。You gotta come on, look at me, I want you to kiss me. Go on, let me feel your heartbeat, so sweet. You gotta come on, look at me, I wanna kiss your lips. Go on, let me feel your heartbeat, so close. Look at me, I want you to kiss me. Go on, let me feel your heartbeat, so sweet. Look at me, I wanna kiss your lips. Go on, let me feel your heartbeat like a drum. You gotta come on, look at me, I wanna kiss me. Go on, let me feel your heartbeat, so sweet. You gotta come on, look at me, I wanna kiss your lips. Go on, let me feel your heartbeat like a drum.
It's Chu Chu on a Tuesday, here to brighten up your week. So have your tea and put your feet up whilst I sing and speak. It's ages till the weekend, so let's try and have some fun. There may be music, innuendo, comedy, satire, jokes, art, and definitely some puns. It's Chu Chu on a Tuesday. Chu Chu. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much, and welcome to Chu Chu Tuesdays, episode 9. Hey, bye-bye, ukulele. Thank you for joining me, everybody, this lovely, lovely evening. Okie dokie. It's been 3 whole weeks since the last episode. I hope you all haven't missed me too much. And it's also the first Chu Tuesday in the month of November. That's right. It is the one month of the year where you can really assert yourself and just say no to all of those arduous tasks that you don't want to get roped into, but usually you're too polite to refuse. Are bigger kids in the playground offering you cigarettes? Just say no. Is that boring guy at a party demanding you add him on Facebook just because you've been politely making conversation for the past 10 minutes? Nope. Boss trying to call you into a meeting just as your shift ends? Nope, nobody, nope. It's November, so make your voice heard and don't be afraid to do sod all this month. But wait. I do Chu Tuesdays because I love it. And I'm so pleased to see all you lovely people in the YouTube Palace Ballroom this evening. Remember, you can comment throughout. So what are you waiting for? Say hello, drop me some comments, give me some of those smiley faces, give me some of those clapping hands, and don't be afraid to ask a question. You won't know if you don't ask. So feel free to always drop your questions for Chu Chu or for my lovely guest later on into the chat box. Hope that's all okay. Righty-ho. I think it's time we get started on some updates for November. Remember, the 5th of November, gunpowder, treason and plot. I see no reason why the gunpowder treason should ever be forgot. British news. This week it was Bonfire Night, also known as Guy Fawkes Night in the UK. It's an annual festival where we celebrate the thwarting of a plot. That's a good word, thwarting. The thwarting of a plot to kill the king by blowing up the Houses of Parliament 416 years ago. Not that we bear a grudge or anything. We're just doing what the rhyme said. You see, back in the 1600s, King James was in favour of a recent change in the country's official religion from Christianity to, well, it's a different type of Christianity, you know, still the same God and Jesus and everything, but less guilt and blander decor. In fact, to really understand what was happening, we have to go all the way back to a much more famous English king. King Henry VIII, you know him, he of 6 wives. About 75 years earlier, he'd actually launched the English Reformation, converting England to his own imaginatively named relaunch of the faith, Church of England, burning cathedrals and persecuting Catholics, mainly because he just wanted to get around the rather pesky tenet of no divorce held in Catholicism. Yes, he was a visionary, an innovator, unafraid to disrupt the social fabric. King Henry VIII himself was actually 400 years in development. The prototype King Henry Classic was rapidly followed by the updated King Henry 2.0, who was briefly supplemented by the young King Henry 2S. King Henry III had a larger screen, but still had a physical keyboard. King Henry IV was recalled after randomly catching fire. King Henry V didn't hold his charge for long. And Henry VI had an end-of-life refresh, which lasted only 1 year due to poor reception. King Henry VII was, interestingly, the first to trial Bluetooth headphones, which brings us to the famous King Henry VIII, finally, with facial recognition and many additional accessories. And so eager to upgrade his wives he was, he fundamentally altered the entire religion and constitution of the country. And then 75 years later, some guy from Yorkshire was angry enough about all of that to want to commit regicide by blowing up the country's parliament. Yes, Guy Fawkes and the plotters hid 36 barrels of gunpowder in the cellars of the Houses of Parliament. 36 barrels! Just snuck them on in there past the guards. Ah, the good old days. You can't even take a half-drunk carton of orange juice into an airport these days. But back then, you could just go, oh, by gosh, be that Will Shakespeare over yonder? And just fill up the government cellars full of explosives. Marvellous times. But of course, somebody grassed them up, because who could possibly keep such an audacious plan under their capitaine hat forever? He probably shouldn't have painted that selfie for Lootstagram with the caption, "Things about to get lit in the HOP, Guy." So Guy Fawkes was caught red-handed, with the matches in his pocket, and he was marched away by the guards. He did try saying, "Gadzooks, is that Galileo over yonder?" But they didn't fall for it this time, instead taking him to the Tower of London, where they gently persuaded him to give up the names of the other plotters by stretching him out on the rack until his limbs popped out of their sockets. They had promised to let him go afterwards, but it turned out they were just kidding. And that's where we get the phrase, "I'm only pulling your leg." Instead, they rewarded him for sharing this information by disemboweling him and dragging him around the city along with some of the other plotters. Naturally, Guy was most disappointed by this turn of events. which is where we get the phrase gutted. And maybe the phrase forks in the road. I don't know. Today we continue to celebrate this grisly event annually with fireworks, toffee apples, ginger cake, and by burning the effigies of whichever public figures are out of favour at the Mo on top of a raging bonfire every 5th of November. Say what you like about the Brits, we love a tradition and a cake and setting things on fire. I always loved bonfire night as a child, even as an adult. The crackling fire, the tasty sweets, the fireworks, and also it's often the last time in the year that we'll even go outdoors for any kind of event before we all have to go hibernate inside a teapot for the rest of the winter. Yes, it's really my favourite festival of the year, and a reasonable amount of the grisly tale that I just told is actually true. So if you do have any questions for me about bonfire night or the gunpowder plot, feel free to fire them my way. All right, I was thinking about what song to follow this up with. Of course, there are loads of songs out there about fire and burning and explosions and fireworks. I don't think I quite have the range of Katy Perry, though. So I thought in the end, I'll just sing a song that's actually to Guy himself. A sip of tea before I go ahead with this. You see, I might not exactly agree with Guy Fawkes' kind of political opinions, but I'd say there's a lot to admire about Guy Fawkes. He was passionate. He was committed to his plan. He set his goals and he followed things through. He made a careful plan. And, he just took his time to try and get things done. I really do admire a guy who's so focused. So, Guy, this song's for you. A guy what takes his time, I'll go for any time. I'm a fast-moving gal who likes him slow. I got no use for fancy driving, wanna see a guy arriving in low. I'd be satisfied, electrified to know a guy what takes his time. A hurry-up affair, I always give the air. Won't give any Russian gent a smile. I would go for any single who would condescend to linger a while. What a lullaby would be supplied to have a guy who takes his time. Oh, a guy what takes his time, I'd go for any time. A hasty job really spoils a master's touch. I don't like a big commotion, I'm a demon for slow motion on such. Why should I deny that I would die to know a guy who takes his time? There isn't any fun in getting something done if you're rushed when you have to make them great. I can spot an amateur, appreciate a connoisseur in trade. Who would qualify no alibi to be the guy who takes his time? Whoa, whoa, oh, oh, whoa, whoa. All right, that was a guy what takes his time. Originally by Mae West, but made a bit more famous by Christina Aguilera in the burlesque movie a couple of years ago. It's also not the song that I told my special guest tonight that I'd be singing, that she'd be coming on afterwards, because I got completely mixed up. So, dear special guest, if you are there and you're listening and you're ready, ignore the thing I said about which song I was going to sing before you came on. It's not that one. It's this one I've just sung, which means that I'm about to bring you into the stream in a minute or so. Oh, we are so organized this evening. Actually, I am really, really, really grateful to our lovely guest tonight, because she was planning to be on Chu Tuesday in a couple of weeks' time. And in the last episode of Tuesdays, you might remember that I said we were going to have a global travel update special this time. I was going to have a few different guests on. But, you know, things happen. Lives get complicated. Things have been swapped around a little bit. So I just want to say a big thank you to this guest, because she was going to be on in a couple of weeks. She's very kindly moved her appearance forward by several weeks to appear for us this very, very evening. So extra special thanks, lots of love, lots of smiley faces, clapping hands, and all the rest of it. Please welcome to the stream. It's Kaja. Here she is.
Hello,
Hello, darling. How are you?
I'm just fine. Now, how are you?
I'm just quite ready to relax after all the fluster of this evening and listen to some lovely music. So why don't you take it away with your first song?
Of course. All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Kaja. I am going to play a couple of tunes for you this evening. I'm going to start with a song that quite literally started it all. This is You'll Find Me. Salty sea engulf me, kill the fire burn free. Restless waves, uncontained, carry me out to sea. Drown me to the floor of the sea. Bury me so deep. Cause a hurricane and name it my memory. You'll find me on the shore eventually. Grassy lands, versus sand, roll around with me. Trees grow tall, and my tears fall. Carry me into the trees. Drop me, I'll come down from the trees. Bury me beneath. Make a forest, name it in my memory. You'll find me in every leaf. You'll find me. You'll find me. You'll find me. You'll find you eventually. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Oh, I feel all calm and relaxed again now.
Thank you. I usually like to get my show started with a, really upbeat, something energetic.
Oh no, that's too much for this time of night. So, could you just introduce yourself? Tell us a bit about yourself. Who are you? Where are you from? What do you do?
All right. So my name is Kaja. I go by the stage name of Kaja for now.
How did you think of that?
Oh, well, you know what? My parents were thinking of naming me Saskia, but when they saw my
nice.
face, they chose Kaja. So here I am. Yes, I am Kaja. That is my real name. Spelled Kaja. Weird Swedish family. So I have been writing music and singing, singing since I could make noises from my mouth, and writing music since I could hold a pencil. I've always been musically inclined and been writing songs. And originally I was born in Seattle, Washington in the United States. But I spent a bit of time in Auckland, New Zealand growing up, and the majority of my life I spent in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Yes.
Thank you. So even your crying was very harmonious when you were a baby then? Yeah.
I hope so. I'll have to ask my mom later.
Oh, that's really interesting to hear that you've been playing music, ever since you were born, ever since you were a kid. What different instruments do you play? Have you always just played guitar or anything different?
Well, I started on guitar. I taught myself how to play the guitar when I was about 10 years old. I was always really inspired by the young female rock stars that I saw. My first major influence in life was the sister duo Ali and AJ. I just thought they were the coolest things in the multiverse, and they inspired me to learn to play the guitar. And so I taught myself to play the guitar at that time, and I gradually moved on to ukulele as well as piano, and I can play a little bit of cello, but not super well.
So when you say you taught yourself, did you actually get a book and learn chords and learn music structure, or did you just pick it up and fiddle about and start playing?
Well, it really started with one of my mom's friends who noticed that I was playing the guitar, and he knew how to play the guitar, and he taught me 3 chords on the guitar: A major, E major, and D major. And that's where it started. From there, I just, kept going and going until I reached this point. I'd say I haven't gotten that much better, but
I don't know. I would disagree. I think I'm sure you have mastered more than 3 chords by this point. I've heard you playing many times.
Maybe about 12 at this point.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice. Right. Yeah, because I learned music quite formally. I had piano lessons and I started from the beginning and learned all the key signatures and time signatures and that kind of thing. So yeah, I played classical music and things when I was a kid. And I guess it's only recent years I've started to just mess about a bit with the piano and the ukulele and with my voice and kind of relax a little bit. Yeah, but it's good to have that structure to start with, I think.
Yeah.
But some people don't seem to need it. Some people can just play and don't know a thing about music theory, which confuses me. But
I'm jealous of those people. I don't know. I seem to be able to pick up an instrument and just kind of fiddle around with it until kind of something happens, especially with string instruments. As soon as I picked up a cello at music camp. And as soon as I picked it up, I just, started fiddling with it, and I was, I managed to figure out the classic song. Gosh, the name is escaping me. The Namchara in G major, that Yo-Yo Ma is always playing.
I think I know.
Yeah. I don't know, it comes to me.
Nice.
Yeah.
What about lyrics? When did you start actually writing lyrics, writing words?
Lyrics, I got a diary for Christmas when I was about 10 years old, maybe. And, I started just writing songs about things that I knew when I was 10 years old, things like school and, ice cream and,
Excuse me, pouring more tea.
Oh, no worries. We all need tea. Got my tea too. Oh yeah, just about, what a 10-year-old would start writing songs about. But something really changed when I was, when I entered high school, when I was 13. And actually that song I just played, I wrote when I was 13. It was my first like serious, real song. And my songwriting has really shifted from, these young topics to, quite heavier stuff. When I was 13, it was a time when I was, just open and honestly, I was really struggling with like my mental health, which, 13 sounds young, but I learned that many, adolescents, like 13, 14, that's when, mental health problems start arising. So now I try to use that song that I wrote when I was, really struggling to kind of be a message about, mental health awareness. I don't know. I like everything to have a message. But my songwriting really shifted to, deeply emotional stuff. And the lyrics just come from, the emotions I'm having, and it just comes out. The words just flow, and I can't really help it or direct where it goes. It just comes out.
That does sound wonderful, because it is great to be able to like let it out in some way or another. As we were just discussing the other night, the fact that we're lyrically probably complete opposites, because Kaja sings quite serious and meaningful and emotional things, and I sing about bananas and lunchboxes and Don Quixote and stuff. So.
But your song Lunchbox, it whenever I hear it, I'm in a deeply emotional state.
But we're both expressing
national treasure.
But we're both expressing the important things to us. Yeah.
I think you're right, though. We are completely on opposite spectrums. You really write from a place of, energy and joy and just really entertaining and funny topics. And, my songs are really about crying and sadness.
But like when I listen to your music, when I have seen you performing so many times, and your songs are just so beautiful to listen to, and I just I just think, how do you even write about these things? There were no bananas at all in that song. What's happening? I really do admire it. I think it's great to be able to express yourself in that way, and like so many artists talk about this mental health aspect of doing creative things, and it kind of almost sounds like a cliche, but it's so true. And I think for a lot of us, it's it's what stops us from going crazy, because usually on this show, I'm always talking to people who, like myself, have day jobs, and we do music and things as our hobby and our passion, and when we have time for it. So do you have any tips for anybody who, would like to do something creative, whether it's writing, music, poetry, painting, whatever it might be, but, like us, have got jobs, have got things going on, maybe got family to look after, how do you find the time? How do you fit it in? How do you make it work?
A lot of my songwriting, probably 100%, comes to me, at night when I'm winding down and relaxing. And that's when, my brain kind of turns on and starts thinking about all of the things happening. And that's when the words come to me. So if it's, songwriting, then I would recommend, for me, I have like a document on my, my iPad and my computer that that's where I write my music. But, maybe before bed, write your music on your document, or have a journal or notebook that you just kind of write your thoughts down in. And, the same goes for poetry or creative writing. Yeah. Just, follow your heart. Don't be afraid. I don't know. I think it's human nature to kind of compare ourselves to people who we interpret as better than us at something. And that keeps us from trying to do it. There are amazing songwriters out there and singers out there. And I feel like people might see that and be like, oh, I'm never going to be that good, so why am I even going to try? But of course, like, don't be afraid to just let it out, because that's where it starts. And, you know, I started out writing about ice cream and boys on the playground, and now I'm writing,
Yeah.
you know, songs that, you know, people have told me, and I believe so, that are really magical and powerful. And, you know, it takes time and patience and, you know, just putting in whatever time and effort you have to, you know, let out your emotions and your feelings. And don't be afraid.
Yeah. I think you're right, because people are always comparing themselves, you know, to other people, but especially we're always comparing ourselves to like people who do this for a living. So, you know, I might look at a particular singer and think, oh, I'll never be that good. But then she's been singing for 30 years and she does it every day as her full-time job. So like, I shouldn't really compare myself to her, right? And yeah, we shouldn't be thinking. And also, like, we all seem to think that art should be for other people's enjoyment and entertainment. Like, I should paint a picture that other people will think is good and enjoy looking at, which it doesn't have to be. Like, it could just be for you, right? You just enjoyed painting it or something.
Yeah, art is for yourself. It's your own self-expression.
Yeah.
So there's no wrong way to do art. You know, there's no right or wrong way. There's just your way, your method, your words. Yeah.
Talking of which, could we hear some more of your words, your music?
Absolutely. All right, so we're gonna climb up a couple years from 13. We're gonna come up to 16 now. We're doing the time capsule. This is a song I wrote when I was 16 years old. I was in the bedroom of my best friend when I was visiting her in Missouri, and she had to go to work, and I was left alone in her room with her guitar, and this song came out of it. This is called Ebb and Flow. Hold on, I got a tune real quick. Sorry about that. My A string just fell somehow. Okay, let's start over.
Ganbatte kudasai.
We've ended a story and water's been filling my head. Please silence the hurricane, all of the things I have said. In madness I have been afloat and I pushed my way through. I never wanted anything more than to just forget you. How could we tear our world in two? Look at us now, we drowned each other down. Please open the windows and shut out the noise. The wind and the currents is something that I can't avoid. My room is on fire, my house is ablaze. I'm trying to find the only way to escape. To run away, to run away. I planted and rooted the roses in my front yard, so I can tend to them something like I used to tend to you. The curtains lined with the things I'd rather not say, and I'll keep them closed to keep out your light of day. How could we tear the world in two? Look at us now, we drowned each other down. Please open the windows and shut out the noise. The wind and the current I'm trying to find the only way to escape, to run away, to run away, to run away, to run away, to run Madness, I up and I flow and I push my way through. I never wanted anything more than to just forget you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. That was a very sweet sounding song about a house being on fire.
Yeah. My room is on fire. My house is ablaze.
So I'm worried that you were at your friend's house and she went out and then you set it on fire and wrote a song about it. Please tell me that's not what happened.
I mean, no. I guess it's more a metaphor for my brain. Like the house is my head, and everything that's happening inside of it feels like a fire. Like I need to escape from my thoughts, kind of thing.
Do you feel like the thoughts are just like out of control sometimes? Yeah.
You know, yes. Honestly, yes. Sometimes my thoughts are out of control, and at those times I try to get it out with songwriting, and that's a great example of a time when, yes, that was happening.
Yeah. But it still sounded like a very calm and controlled song about things being out of control. I like it.
Yeah, this is kind of a songwriting trend I have where it has little, hills and valleys. There's high points of energy and low points of, calmness, and then usually at the end it always kind of winds back down to the calm. Yes.
Have you changed styles much over the years? You've been playing and writing for a long time, so have you tried different styles, or have you just got in the groove with your way of doing things?
It's mostly been the same style since I was 13, so for the last 13 years, half my life. Oh my god. Mostly been
A third of my life.
Yeah. Oh god. Now to write a song about getting old. Yeah, it's mostly been the same, really mellow, calm styles. I when I try to branch out, it just doesn't work. I'm not meant to write about happy things, I have discovered. Yeah.
I mean, I think you can still be a happy person, even if you only put the sadness into a song. I don't know.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
I will keep trying to write, different styles. I'm in the middle of trying to write a comedy song about, dating in Japan. Just
we talked about
the dumpster fire that it is. Actually, I've reached out to you several times about.
Yes, we need to talk about that.
We can compile our experiences and get something written.
I was thinking earlier, when I'm writing, not only writing songs, but just writing my little bits of scripts and jokes and things, I spend so much time on that thesaurus.com website.
That's a good idea.
Trying to find, sometimes you just want another word that means the same thing, but just, a better sounding word. I like funny sounding words. Like how I use the word thwarting in my opening ramblings about Bonfire Night. I just love finding the most. I was going to say they foiled the plot, but then I was like, no, thwarting a plot. It's just much more fun to say. So yeah, I'm always on Thesaurus trying to find more fun sounding ways of saying the things that I was going to say. And trying to make words that rhyme. I'll be going bum com dum fum gum hom jum mum gum dum shum thum fum, trying to find a rhyming word for something.
Yeah, I'm always doing that with my alphabet when I'm trying to find a rhyming word. I just get the sound A, B, no, C, no, D. Oh, okay.
And I feel like it's so basic. I'm like, is this how the major songwriters of the world write their lyrics, you know?
Right.
A major artist sat there going, "Was Gast, das was Gast has just." Like,
No, I'm sure
or is it
everyone's
just
using
me? I don't know.
thesaurus.com.
We have an audience question. We have a badly phrased and misspelt audience question from
Ooh, I can't
Soundman Sharan.
wait to hear it.
He says, "Can you an Ariana Grande cover?" She's my fav artiste.
Oh, he knows. He's just trying to put me in a dark place. No, I am not going to
Thank
do
you.
an
No,
Ariana Grande cover. I'm sorry, I refuse.
I certainly did not
Okay.
expect that. Do you do cover songs anytime, by the way, or do you normally do your own songs?
I absolutely do covers. I think most
Mm,
of the songs that I know are covers. It takes me a long time to write a song.
yeah.
Often, several months, or it's either 10 minutes or several months, no between. But I do quite a few covers. I have a kind of famous cover that I do of the Japanese classic Ue Mui Daruko.
Oh, yeah.
Most well-known cover, I think. I completely redid it, changed it from 4/4 time signature, changed it to a 3/4 time signature, made it really folky.
Yes, I have heard you playing that. It really
Yeah,
took me by surprise. I didn't know what song it was at first.
right. It sounds like it's almost gonna be like Hallelujah, like the Jeff Buckley version of
Yeah.
Hallelujah. I kind of took a similar chord progression, but of course made it fit Ue Mui Daruko. That's my best cover. I can't believe I arranged it, to be honest. I also have a kind of folky cover of U2's Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For. That sounds very different from the original.
I like it. So you're taking the original song, but kind of doing your own thing with it, arranging it in your own way.
Exactly.
That is very nice. See, I often just get the backing track and sing the song. So, it's nice when you actually play an instrument, you can do that with it.
You're working smart, and I'm working unnecessarily hard.
I would like to play a bit more, but it's finding the time. But I do. I am trying to do a bit more with my ukulele, write some more songs there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okie doke. Well, would you? Before we move to your last song, would you like to share any website, social media, online contacts, anything, so that people can listen to your music and get in touch?
For listening to my music, I do have an EP out in the world. The EP is called "You'll Find Me." That is the title of the EP. You can find it on basically anywhere that you listen to music: Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, everywhere. If you type in my name, Kaja, plus "You'll Find Me," then you'll find me.
You'll find me.
And that EP has a mix of originals and covers. I did it kind of a while ago, like 5 years ago. I'm definitely due for a new one. In terms of social media, I do have a Facebook page for my music. If you type in Kaja, my name, Kaja, I'm sure that you'll find my Facebook page. I do have a personal Instagram account in which I occasionally post my music. You're free to follow that. It's a mix of my personal stuff and my music stuff. That is Pastel Dirt. Instagram. Pastel Dirt.
Well, type all these in the comments after you've finished, if you can, and then people can click through and have a look.
Yes, I will.
But could we have your last lovely song, please?
Of course. All right. So this last song, I'm a little nervous about debuting it, to be honest. It's my first time debuting the song. I obviously need to change my strings. This is my newest song, and it's the first time I'm performing it in front of anyone. So I actually wrote it this year, so now we've caught up to 26. And a condensed version of the backstory for the song is, about all good songs. It's about a breakup, and I was really struggling with, processing all of the emotions and stuff of this breakup, and I got advice from my previous dorm keeper when I was an exchange student here in Japan, and telling her about what had happened, and broke up with this guy, and she said something that just really, it hit me like a ton of bricks. It was, you've learned everything you can from each other, and now you're meant for something else in life. And it just, I get goosebumps thinking about it from how much it impacted me. And that night I wrote this song. This is called Meant. Gone are my boundaries and feeling like rain. Feeling the water grow into a tidal wave. Can you feel me lying to myself? No one would save him here. I'm meant for someone else. I'm meant for someone else. Ooh. What wants to be will somehow be. What wants to grow needs some time in sorrow. What's said, what is done, we cannot take back. Embrace me one last time beneath the train tracks. Speed to oblivion, I'm hating myself. Nothing to learn from you. We're meant for someone else. I don't wish the best for you. We're meant for someone else. We're meant for someone else. Flowers and races, gallon road signs, speeding on highways, make out to sunrise, camping on roadsides, believing this was the rest of my long life. Graduate dreamland, half-past seduction, rhyming no reason, phones in hands. Fear of your visions of models, decisions, run out of reasons to Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kaja. It was so lovely to hear your music this evening.
Thank you very much.
We really appreciate you changing the schedule around as well.
No.
And it's just so, it was a really lovely conversation. You and I talk about music and things all the time, but it was really, really glad to hear your thoughts.
Yes, thank you so much, Chu Chu.
Okay, I'm just going to pop you off the stream now whilst I finish up the rest of the show. But feel free to type your links and things in the chat box as we go along.
Of course. All right. Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Take care, dear. Choo choo.
Choo choo.
All right, let's hear it for Kaja. Come on, let's have some love. Let's have some smiley faces. Let's have some clapping hands. It's almost time for the end of the show now. But wait, what's this? The beautiful blue Danube waltz? Have we been transported back to 19th century Austria? Or perhaps we're floating through space, about to enter into a battle of wits with a hyper-intelligent ship's computer of our own creation. No, this time we're signing our lives away to battle it out in a survivalist game from which there is no escape, where we'll all fight to win big, but in reality, most of us will be eliminated in the brutal race for success. No, I'm not talking about our day jobs. I'm talking about the hit Korean thriller series Squid Game. It's been #1 on Netflix in over 90 different countries and viewed by hundreds of millions of people worldwide, all no doubt compelled by the colourful set pieces, the simple, familiar games, and the constant threat of destruction which hangs over us all. Now, before I share my most insightful thoughts on Squid Game, in case you haven't watched it yet, yes, there will be a few spoilers about the world of Squid Game, of course. I'm not going to talk about the fate of any particular character, so I don't think it'll ruin it, but if you've not seen it and you don't want to hear anything, then just turn your speakers off now, take your headphones out, watch me gesticulate in silence for a few minutes. When I'm done, I'll hold up the mute button and give you an okay, all right? Okay. But I bet everyone else has already finished watching all of Squid Game. As usual, it's probably only me who is way behind the game on this one, because I've not quite made it to the end yet, okay? So don't you dare spoil it for me either. Come on, come on, come on. The truth is, actually, I'm a little bit of a wuss when it comes to violence and tension. You see, so every time I watch one episode, I need about a week to recover from it, which is why I still haven't quite finished the whole series yet. But I have to say, I am really, really gripped by the exciting plot. Of course, the anticipation is keeping me going. Of course, I can't help but, feel sympathy for the main character, Gi-hun, even though he does seem to be a hopeless gambling addict. And I'm rooting for him, even though by rooting for him, that does, of course, inevitably mean that everybody else will have to die. Now, the thing I find interesting about Squid Game is that unlike many other tales of survivalist games we've seen before, such as Hunger Games or Running Man, Battle Royale, which are set in a post-apocalyptic future, Squid Game is firmly rooted in reality. It's set in today's world with no particular sci-fi element to it. It's in a modern-day South Korea, where everybody apparently keeps several months' wages in an envelope in their inside jacket pocket. The show was all written before the pandemic. The filming started in early 2020, and it was finally released this year after, hopefully, the worst of all of the pandemic is over with, which actually makes this show the first ever pre-apocalyptic survivalist game story. There's a new one. As usual, whenever I get into a story, I just can't help but completely overthinking the whole plot. Seriously, this game is just running so smoothly. They've got hundreds of foot soldiers and staff, elaborate sets and equipment, not to mention all of the secrecy that would be required to transport everyone to the game and keep them all in check. How are they doing this? Has anyone ever worked anywhere where things ran so efficiently? Never mind the merciless killings. It's the thought of organising all the logistics of it, really, that's keeping me awake at night. How did the place get built? Did they have planning permission? Do they have insurance? Clearly, running the whole event would only be possible in a collectivist East Asian culture. There's no way you could get that many staff to behave themselves if it was in Britain. In the UK, the lads had just been mucking about, getting stoned in the crematorium on the breaks, showing up late for their shifts. There's no way everybody would stick to the uniform so strictly. And that big piggy bank full of cash, That'd have been well nicked by now if this was in Manchester. The guards would be like, the prize money increases every time. Wait, where did it go? They'd probably nick the beds too, to be honest. And the tech, oh, it all runs so smoothly, doesn't it? All the surveillance, the music, the lighting, the scoreboard. And I am especially loving the convenient push to erase the footage of someone going through a secret door button. Oh yeah, I love it how in TV and films, when it comes to tech, there's always just one button that does the exact thing that you want. In real life, even if I want to reheat my cup of tea in the microwave, I still have to close the door, boop, press on, boop, Renji for microwave function, doot, doot, 20 seconds and doot, go. Seriously, I could have erased several frames of an imprisoned doctor sneaking off to harvest organs in that time. And as well as the illegal organ trade, another recurring trope of Korean thrillers always seems to be the good old sleeping gas. Can I get some of that, by the way? Seriously, what is this gas? It's so strong that one squirt, you're unconscious for hours on end while they transport you miles on a ship, not even waking up when they remove all your possessions and change your clothes. And the only thing that will wake you up is Haydn's Trumpet Concerto in E-flat major. But if you hold a t-shirt over your mouth, then it won't get you. Mind you, the one time when it all goes low-tech is when it comes to the filing system. 20 years of printed player profiles all neatly filed away in order. Another convenient plot device, so the detective can just flick through and try to find his mark. Oh, and you're telling me there's no surveillance cameras in the damn filing room? Genuinely, I actually laughed my arse off for that scene. It looks exactly like all of the customer profiles we have filed in our basement of work. Ah, those Asian filing systems are next to perfection. Also, when did they take the file pictures on the profiles? Because they're not the same as the smiling day one pictures. But really, 20 years this has supposedly been going on for. Has no one noticed almost 10,000 missing people? Not to mention 20 new billionaires just out of the blue? Did they spend all their cash on therapy bills before anyone noticed? How deep does this go? How many researchers and salesmen do they have? There must be 1,000 people working on this every year. That's more than even the largest K-pop idol band. Is it part of South Korea's national service to work for Squid Game? Mainly, though, I feel that the reason that the show is also compelling and relatable is just, we all struggle through the daily grind of our day jobs. We're all desperately trying to survive and make some money. Haven't we all faced tedious, pointless tasks at work, whether it's cutting an umbrella shape out of honeycomb with a pin, or printing out another pile of customer profiles, only just to file them away in the basement and never look at them again? What's it all about? And I don't know about you, but in my office, sometimes we might relax, have a chat and a laugh and a bit of banter. But we definitely all have to freeze the second that the boss turns around. Otherwise, she will kill us. At the end of the day, aren't we all just trapped in a merciless game with a glimmer of financial salvation constantly being dangled in front of our stupid faces? Aren't we all made to play games in fear and indignity? And don't we all desperately try to find someone else to take the blame whenever possible? Give me the money! Finally, for me, the character I identify with most is definitely the detective. The detective who has managed to sneak into the game, disguised himself as a guard so he can snoop around and try to find out what's going on. But he's completely out of his depth. He's had no training, he's got no idea what to do, so he just wanders around following other staff. Oh, we're going this way now. Running, stop! He's just pretending to fit in, hiding behind his work clothes, trying to keep a low profile and not get into trouble. He is me at work. I'm sure he is so many of us. All right, okay. I'm done. You can come back now if you were trying to not listen to spoilers. We're finished. Please join us again. All right. I was trying to think of a song to finish off with this evening. Of course, there are lots of songs about games and winning. I briefly considered singing ABBA, "The Winner Takes It All," but apart from that one fun line, it's kind of a boring song, to be honest. It's always difficult to find a song that suits me and is just a lot of fun to sing. So I thought, well, at the end of the day, why does everybody join Squid Game? There's one thing that they are all hoping to get out of it. So I thought I'd have a fun song about the one thing that drives us all as humans through the world we have created. This song by Barrett Strong, also made very famous by the Beatles. The best things in life are free, but you can give them to the birds and bees. I need money. That's what I want. I want money. That's what I want. Your love gives me such a thrill, but your love don't pay my bills. I need money. That's what I want. I need money. That's what I want. Money don't get everything, it's true. But what it don't get, I can't choose. I need money. That's what I want. I need money. That's what I want. Money, money, that's what I want. I need money, money, money. Come on and give me lots of money. That's what I want. I need a whole lot of money. Money's what I want. Thank you very much, everybody. That was Chu Tuesdays, episode 9. And I want to say thank you so much to the lovely Kaja for sharing her beautiful music and talking to us about songwriting this evening. Thanks for joining us, Kaja. And I also want to say a very special happy birthday to Dad Chu Chu. Say happy birthday to Dad, everyone. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, of course, me, Chu Chu Nagoya. Give it the big old thumbs up and tell your friends all about it. My next episode will be in 3 weeks' time on Tuesday, the 30th of November, and hopefully it's going to be the highly anticipated news update special with the domestic updates from our Japan travel correspondent, Roddy Ramsbottom, and if we're lucky, maybe some bonus news from the home country with extra special guest, birthday boy himself, Dad Chu Chu, so get on it, Dad. Finally, the end of the year is hurtling towards us, whether you like it or not, along with all of the seasonal festivities it will bring. So, Nagoya friends, please get these dates in your diary after the huge success of our Halloween burlesque shows. Cabaret Kira Kira will be producing a special burlesque version of The Nutcracker with capable narration by yours truly, me, Chu Chu, of course, and that will be on Sunday, the 12th of December at Shelter Rock Bar. So please look up the Nutcracker Cabaret on Facebook for more details. You'll be able to have dinner there at Shelter Rock Bar as well, and also meet Santa. And then the following week on Sunday, the 19th of December, myself and Faith will actually be hosting a small little Christmas party at the Bermondsey Arms. So please do join us then for a cosy afternoon and evening of music, magic, and of course some top-notch Bermondsey grub as usual. You can look up the event. It's called Falafel Falalala on Facebook. Or just drop me a line or Faith a message about those events if you want to find out more details. If you're in Nagoya, please do join us on the 12th of December and the 19th of December. But don't panic, there's still 53 days left to go until Christmas, so there's plenty of time to stock up your booze cabinets and write your letters to Santa. That is all from me. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Hope you all sleep very well, gas or no gas. And don't forget to stay creative. Just give it a go. All right, everybody. That was Chu Tuesdays episode 9. I'm just going to enjoy the rest of the Moonlight Serenade and a cup of tea. night, everybody. Choo choo.